Well, Dr. Anne Speckard is the author of Talking to Terrorists and Associate Professor of Psychiatry and Security Studies at Georgetown University in Washington. She joins us now by Skype from Brussels. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Speckard. We heard from the Belgian Prime Minister, we feared an attack and it happened. What message do you think is being sent by these latest attacks?
Well, Sarah, I think that it's probably the group that Salah Abdeslam was part of. He indicated that he was going to cooperate with the prosecution, and we knew that he was part of a larger cell. So, and now we see that they were suicidal, and they were suicidal in Paris as well. So I think they just accelerated their plans and attacked as quickly as they could, so that they wouldn't get rounded up. Instead, they would.
So you think that this is connected to the arrest of Salah Abdeslam on Friday, and that perhaps the planned attacks have been brought forwards as a result of that?
Absolutely. That's how it looks to me. And it's disgusting, and my condolences go to the Belgian people. I myself was supposed to be at the airport, and I got panic calls from friends saying, don't go to the airport, don't go to the airport. And watching the footage and seeing things, I'm close enough to the subway stop that I've seen all the ambulances and heard them coming. It's just disgusting. And, you know, we do have a really radicalized population here, and there's social issues that need to be addressed, but not in this way. You know, engaging in terrorism and violence to try to get your voice heard is just so sick.
Yeah, I mean, Belgium has produced more jihadi fighters per capita than any other country in Europe. Why do you think there is such a problem in Belgium?
I think, you know, it's obvious. And I lived here for 7 years, from 2000 to 2007. And in the Belgian Moroccan descent population, that's second and third generation, there's a lot of anger. If your name's Jamal or Fatima and you get a job interview, if you even get one, you'll face some serious discrimination. And I've sat outside of nightclubs where they say, go home Moroccan. And, you know, these are things that shouldn't be happening in EU. They're against the EU law, but somehow they're not... there's not serious penalties. They're not stopped from doing these things. When I taught here, I asked my students to submit resumes as a Arabic Belgian, speaking Belgian, so a Moroccan, or as a white Belgian, and they got very different responses. I mean, they didn't even get invited to job interviews, or they were told the job was full. So the anger is probably legitimate. Engaging in terrorism is not. And what we're seeing is that ISIS is pouring gasoline on a fire. So we've got social issues that are real, and now we have a terrorist group saying we have an alternative world to reality. Meaning, and of course we know that being a terrorist shouldn't be meaningful to anybody. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, and there are serious questions, aren't there, about the security services, how Salah Abdeslam was able to exist in the district of Molenbeek, wandering around in plain sight, despite being public enemy #1 in Belgium. There was a degree of protection around him.
Well, that still, you know, is being discovered. But what I've been told over and over, I've been interviewing in this community for years now, and I have to say most people are wonderful people. And, you know, they don't deserve the discrimination that they're facing. But the ones that are radicalized and the criminals give a bad name to everyone else. And what I've heard is that you don't snitch in your own community. And nowadays, when we're facing ISIS, if you already have that ethic in your community that you don't snitch, well, you know, the retaliation can be that you're murdered, or that your family's murdered, or that your house is burned down. So probably people, if they knew that he was anywhere in the neighborhood, were afraid to tell the police. And there were probably some that had solidarity with him, sadly so. So really, we need programs in Belgium that are powerful programs to draw these people back into society and make them feel that their home is here in the heart of Europe, not in Syria and Iraq, and you know, trying to build some kind of alternative world reality that is based on violence and the suppression of women.
Okay.